Do your ex's feelings fade during no contact? So I'm going to read this. I'll make myself smaller here. The first thing to get out of the way is that your ex's feelings have already faded. So a lot of people are actually oblivious to the fact that your ex has actually been thinking about breaking up with you for quite some time. Okay. So, faded feelings is where they're at now. So when they first, let's say when things were good, let's say things were at 85, 90 out of 100 in terms of a score. So they were very happy with you. Things weren't perfect, but things are pretty much never perfect in a relationship, right? So something drove their attraction down. And I'm going to talk more about attraction as I go on through these points. But let's make myself a little bit bigger here. There we go. So something made their attraction come down, which makes your ex's feelings fade, right? It's all coming back to attraction. And if they really think that, going out with you and staying in a relationship with you is a really good idea. So let me just close this because this popped up. So most important lesson here is knowing how feelings work, and they're based off of attraction, which I just alluded to. So negative energy is what drives attraction down. So a lot of people, again, especially dudes, they'll go, hey, we've been together for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. We have kids, we have cars, we have a house, and they come with this idea of I am owed an explanation, or I am owed more time, right? And I used to think this way too. And to be honest, it is kind of unfair how out of nowhere it can feel like it comes. But this also kind of aligns with the idea that most people have no idea how to be in a relationship and keep a relationship together. And so knowing what I know now and the stuff that I've learned about women and what I, apply to my current relationship, you have to see the actual attraction fading and keeping things in a very positive light most of the time. And a lot of people, don't work on themselves. So a lot of guys get complacent. A lot of girls get complacent. A lot of people are very insecure as well. And those two things drive relationships apart a lot, right? And of course, there's finances and stuff like that. But again, most people don't work on themselves. Most people don't learn how to make money in other ways. They don't learn more skills. They actually go to school, get their skills, and learn the stuff that they've learned, and they stop learning. And so the relationship is just a byproduct of both of those people, right? So there really is, nothing that person owes you. Just because you guys were together for a long time, I know you feel like you're owed some sort of explanation, but you're not. And you should be keeping you should be keeping your attention focused on the other person a lot more than you think. Now, not in the way that you're obsessed with them, nothing like that. Just you should be aware of what they're feeling towards you. And a lot of people, again, they have ego issues. They'll say, oh, but they do things wrong too. So again, and this comes down to communication being an issue, boundaries, trust issues, etc. And that's for another video. So the person loses attraction, and right now they don't care enough about the relationship, and right now they are in complete control. So when you get dumped, you have no control. They have all control, okay? So getting them back is about taking your power back and taking back control, which takes time. You're going to have this gap of time, which is called the relief stage of the breakup. And basically, this just means that they are happy that they finally went through with the decision of breaking up with you. Remember, negative energy brings attraction down. So they've been thinking about breaking up with you for maybe several weeks, maybe even months, right? And they're like, you know what? And it always starts with a small inkling. It's what was that? Right? That kind of thing. And then as time goes on, that same behavior continues, and then it grows into more and more contempt for that person. And then they're like, oh, this is just not worth it anymore. And that's what hits them. And they start, and the biggest indicator that somebody's losing attraction for you is distance, right? The person wants to be distant from you. They don't want to be in your presence, okay? So they've been thinking about it for a while. Now, that gap of time, the relief stage, can vary depending on how you handled the breakup and how good your relationship was. if your relationship was really, really good for a while and there's this little, part of it that really sucked. This happens a lot too when somebody like suddenly passes away and a family member passes away for one of the people in the relationship, one of the dude or the chick or whatever. And they kind of go into this like, they're a shell of their former self for a while. So it can take a while. And then the person's like, my God, like, are you ever going to get out of this funk? Again, is it fair? No, not really, but it happens. It happens all the time. So going on to the next point, no contact helps bring attraction back up, especially if you really do improve yourself. So many people have asked me that have done coaching calls with me, by the way, that's available in the description box. How do I show them that I do work on myself? How do I show them this? Well, truth be told, you can post it online if you want to, but it's not for them. That's the main thing to understand. And that's why I try to get you out of this mindset of thinking that everything you're doing, because again, complacency is so prominent in one of the issues that people break up for. It's not for them. It's for you. It's to focus you. It's to focus your energy back onto you. Because when you go through a breakup, you're focusing all your thought energy on them. All you think about is them. And all you do is watch their stories. And all you do is think about some sort of suave way that you can talk to them. And that's not how it works. So the issues that were at the end of the relationship are still going to be at the forefront of their mind. They are going to see you at your most unattractive self, or they're going to be they're not going to be attracted to you at all at the end of the relationship, right? So they're going to go, okay, that's why you need to work on yourself, because you're going to try to convince them to stay with you when you are the least attractive, right? And they're like, why should I do that? And they're going to see you, again, they're looking at you from a top-down perspective. So you have to implement no contact anyways, because that is the only thing that's going to make attraction go back up. And, they're going to see you at your lowest. Wondering about you is key. Attraction goes up when people are apart as well. So one thing that people, especially dumpies, get really confused about is the idea that I need to be in contact to make my ex's feelings go back up. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to close the gap. You're trying to convince them. You're trying to be in their presence, where actually contact with your ex will actually drive attraction down more, because they want space. When they are engaged in the relationship and they want to be with you and they're still in love, contact works great. And no contact. So not no contact, but like we know when your wife or husband goes to work, or your girlfriend, boyfriend goes to work, you miss them, right? So when people are engaged in the relationship still, contact and space still, drive attraction back up. And this is going away as our society goes on, because we have these, right? They constantly know. We all constantly know what our fucking significant other is up to, right? And it's kind of gross, because it's like, guys, we're way too obsessed with the person that we're dating, instead of putting that energy onto ourselves and being obsessed with ourselves. Because look, and that sounds funny to say, because, all you've been told is don't obsess about yourself, and you should. You should love yourself. You should focus your energy on you more than you think you should. You should read more. You should definitely put more, energy and work into yourself, because look, like I said, most people get complacent. Most people stop learning. Most people don't take that time to improve their mindset and have let go of the baggage and shit that they're holding on to. And that's the self-growth that needs to happen during your breakup. So you guys have that time to actually put into yourselves. Become obsessed with yourself. Seriously. There is no better thing to do, okay? Because look, when you do that, and say your ex comes back tomorrow, you're going to be so much better. Especially you learn, like a lot of people dive into attachment theory, learn about communication, learn about boundaries, learn about trust, learn about all these things that relationships thrive off of. And it will definitely help you, and it will get you into a really good place. And then obviously learn about letting go, the book, the concept, the colorful chart of emotions. I'll open it up here for you guys. Actually, I can't, because I have somebody's information there on my Milanote, and I can't, I don't want to edit the video out, but I'll show it in my next video, because I'll get rid of it. So, but just Google David Hawkins map of consciousness, and you'll see the colorful chart there. I'm gonna actually make a whole video about it. It's gonna be in like I'm gonna have a playlist. It's called Fundamentals. You guys can check that out. So if you want coaching, it's in the description box. I'll see you guys in the next video.